Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Cambridge Coffee Corner. I'm joined by three excellent colleagues. I'm joined by Jackie Wilkins, Change Management Practice Lead for CRA. Hi, Jackie. I'm joined by Joe Romain, Partner at Cambridge Retail Advisors. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
And by Mike Powell, VP of Supply Chain for Cambridge Retail Advisors.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Okay, in this edition, this is first of a four-part series on AI. And we're treating this as the intro to the series as well. We're going to be going through AI in store systems and supply chain and change management. But in this first edition, we're going to treat this as a bit of an introduction to help immerse ourselves. So if Jackie, Joe, and Mike, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I'll start the intro, then I'm going to hand over to the more intelligent folks on the call by saying that AI in retail has been coming along for a very long time. So as we step into a more modern version of that, maybe I'm going to go to Joe first and say, what's your impressions of AI in retail today, Joe, beyond the buzzwords? What do you think?
I mean, AI in retail today is definitely a buzzword. It's a hot topic, but I think there's a lot of fear in the industry, not only from our side, but also from the consumer side, because I think everybody's worried about that big brother, right? That's overseeing and capturing all your data. I mean, we've all seen it, all this news stories about data privacy, not only here in the States and different states, but overseas. So I think that's where there's a little nervous aspect of it, is I think a lot of companies understand, yes, it can definitely help from the operational side, which it's a little bit easier, right? Because they're your employees, they're bought in. But how do you get the public to be engaged, not only just online, but in physical retail and through their daily lives? And I think that's where there's a little bit of impediment for a lot of retailers out there today.
Yeah, good stuff, Joe. And so, Jackie, if I turn to you for a minute, where do you think there is evidence of AI delivering operational value today, whether it's cost savings, automation, and that kind of thing? What's your initial impressions of where AI is really coming into its own? What do you think?
Well, I think for one example is staff scheduling, so matching employee shifts during the busy times to help reduce the overall overtime costs. And we also see it in fraud detection, so monitoring transactions in real time to help flag any suspicious behavior during certain activities during certain hours.
Yeah, good stuff. Any other examples that come to mind?
Jackie, you gotta remember that age capture that we all see at NRF every year, right? When you walk by the screen and they're capturing your 32, 55. You know, I don't look 55, but it said it once and I freaked out. So that's definitely part of it as well.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, there was those early ones where they were demoing that kind of thing. Everyone was tagging on to the Minority Report movie. And used it where they'd taken a few leaps ahead and used that as the basis for loyalty through an iris recognition from a corner of the room, which was pretty scary stuff in its own right. I'm glad to see people have settled down a little bit there, and have done some reality checks. Mike, let me turn to you. Have you seen any evidence of AI delivering some real benefits into retail yet?
Oh, certainly. First of all, though, Duncan, I just wanted to circle back on your first question and really level set, what is AI? I mean, as Joe said, there's a lot of hype, a lot of fear. I mean, artificial intelligence has been around a long time. I mean, you mentioned automated systems going back 30 years or more in retail. I mean, all we're seeing really is the ability of computer systems to execute processes that typically require human intelligence. And it's now reached the point where they can automatically do problem solving and decision making. And it's all leveraging very advanced algorithms, machine learning, analyzing data, which in retail is, big data files, obviously, to make meaningful predictions and decisions. So I don't think it's anything to be feared. It's just that it's become incredibly clever and continues to be so. As far as homing in on retail, I mean, Jackie mentioned fraud detection, and that clearly is a big area. Closer to the supply chain, I mean, forecasting and inventory management is another area where you can fine tune inventory to minimize overstocks and minimize out of stocks, so that you're positioning merchandise in the right place at the right time. And a final area is maybe price optimization. I mean, there's a lot of interest in that. How can you really dynamically price products so that you maximize gross margin, minimize markdown, and so forth?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, a hell of a lot going on in retail.
Yeah, Mike, on that price optimization and markdown stuff, have you seen real world examples of that? Because I've certainly heard of it, AI is being used, but have you seen the other side of that where it's actually been leveraged? And
yeah, I have.
From customers or anything like that.
One of our clients has recently installed it's a large furniture retailer, and they've recently implemented a price optimization tool. And they are seeing real benefit delivered.
Right.
I hate to put percentages on it. That's very difficult to do, but qualitatively, we're getting some interesting feedback from them that it's very beneficial.
Fantastic. I mean, there's other areas of the customer journey which are pretty interesting. I mean, dynamic pricing is fascinating.
Yeah.
Chatbots has been one that's been a really obvious target for AI. So, to Jackie or Joe, have you seen any evidence of real good use of chatbots beyond the buzzword? What do you think?
Yeah. We see it all the time, especially if you're shopping online. And speaking of shopping online and the whole dynamic pricing, product recommendations.
Yeah.
We see it all the time using predictive analytics. So maybe you may realize it or not, but it's always things being suggested or based on prior history of what you bought and what you have previously purchased. So definitely see it all over.
And definitely, I think another way, just going into the customer journey on people's mobile devices and hopefully in stores, is those tools out there that brings user-generated content with AI and merging together to include other folks into your business. So for example, if I were to go to a store and want to look at a shirt, hey, would I look good in this shirt? Be in my body type, who I am, eye color, all that. There's a lot of great tools out there that can take your metrics, whether you put them in yourself or it's linked through the company's loyalty or CRM platform, and it will give you examples of, okay, that shirt on somebody that looks like me or something like me. So it gives you a real view of what that would be. So it's just that extra buy-in.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, Joe, because that reminds me, I remember not too long ago, I was shopping for furniture. So now they have these tools where you could just literally open your phone, take a picture of your layout of your room, and they can suggest furniture for you.
Yep.
So, definitely.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So so we've talked a little bit about the customer journey there. I'd now like to turn to the challenges that retailers face, the inhibitors for them adoption and that kind of thing. Maybe Mike, I'll come back to you first. So inhibitors have you seen for the adoption of AI?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number, and there's a recent Gartner survey that suggests that 40% of AI initiatives that are being undertaken are failing because companies are really looking at it tactically rather than having a strategic plan in place. You know, a lot of it is to do with the accessibility of data. You know, in a lot of retailers, data is very siloed, so it's difficult to build an AI algorithm that can access all of that. So the challenge is for retailers is to take a look at their legacy systems and invest in modernizing them so that you can build that foundation for AI to work effectively. And there are other things like you need the right people. You need the qualified data scientists to be able to do this. Another survey frighteningly suggested that only 25% of retailers have a really coherent AI strategy in place at the moment. It's all being done far too tactically.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think? Any inhibitors from your perspective?
I think I sort of touched on that. I think getting the public more on board with AI, not the benefits. I think if retailers, especially in physical retail and omni-channel, right, can just show customers the value, right? Dynamic pricing, personalized promotions, fun, all that crazy stuff. That would get them bought in. The thing is, how do you get them bought into it? And I think Mike made a good point, is also just the strategy of it. It has to not only be a strategy in a silo. I think AI is one of those where you have to look at the entire customer journey and break it down, because there's so many parts, from the connection to the discovery to the checkout to the loyalty. There's so many parts it can help. But I think, to Mike's point, you have to have a strategy. You got to find the low-hanging fruit that you can get. And then also, you sort of have to maybe redo your why, right? I'm a golden circle guy, right? What your company's about. And you got to sell that back to your customers to earn the right to be able to capture those pain points. And I think where it's eventually going to go is you can have maybe this obscure, unknown that can come in. They can build it into your experience, whether it's the store while you're out traveling. And then maybe through the benefits they see, they earn the right to opt in to say, hey, I'm going to allow them to get more information. I'm going to let them know my name. I'm going to let them know my shopping cart, so they can build that experience for me.
Hey, folks, the bell is ringing, so we're out of time for this occasion. So we'll tune in next time. We're going to be following this session up with an AI session on store systems. So I hope to be seeing all of you on one of the future AI sessions. So for now, thanks for joining us for Cambridge Coffee Corner. Tune in next time.